Hello everybody, my name is Travis and welcome to a brand new series. It's called The Long Dark. If you're not familiar with this game, it is a survival game and it is incredibly difficult, but also very atmospheric. And it has several modes you can play here. You've got Wintermute, which is its story mode, it's an episodic adventure, and survival mode, which is your typical sandbox survival with crafting and collecting and all kinds of other stuff. If you want to experience the story for yourself, you can buy the game. It's very cheap. It gets regular updates, but for now, we're going to jump into survival mode. Now, this game features a lot of realistic elements and reactions to the elements and means of survival, but it is by no means a guide, and nor should you use it as a guide for any situation revolving around similar situations. Use it as a guide for. Anyway, just don't use the information you get here. It's a video game. It's not meant to be an instructional. So, with that aside, I'm going to start a new game. I've played a couple. I haven't played it in a while. If you are a longtime fan of this channel, I may have mentioned this before, but in the past, this was a game that I originally recorded about 20 episodes of for my original uploading path before I sort of caught up with myself and my upload schedule. I think punishingly challenging. The game's already very punishing, so I'm just going to go for normal difficulty on Voyager. And Bleak Inlet. Mystery Lake. A lot of these places are very, very hard to survive in. I think what I will do is I will start at Desolation Point for intermediate players. Intermediate players, ideal for new players. Mystery Lake is not that easy. A balance between wilderness and man-made shelters, resources, and whatever. We'll just go with that one. Male, female. It really doesn't matter. There's literally no reason for any of this. Maybe in the story mode, but not for survival. It really doesn't matter. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. Trays, sandbox, snadbox, Trays Sandwich 1. There we go. Fantastic. So yeah, this was a series that I was doing on my channel for not 20 videos, but it was quite a good number of videos. For like my original uploading path when I was uploading Amnesia and Monstrum and all kinds of other games. And I just decided to go against it because it just wasn't interesting enough for me at the time. My commentary was still very stiff, and it still is kind of stiff, but at least I'm feeling a little bit more confident in myself in order to do something like this. And, you know, make it at least somewhat interesting. Alright. The game is going to start me off. Oh god, I hope I'm at dusk. So on the bottom, you've got your temperature gauge, your energy gauge, your thirst, and your hunger gauge. And, oh my god, that is so loud. Let me turn that down really quick. I can barely hear myself over the sound of this ambience. It's insane. But yeah, so it's very hard. And your movement speed matters. Standing still, you use the least amount of energy and food. Running, you use the most amount of energy. Oh boy, I'm gonna need a tool to break this down. It's a large branch. I know what you're thinking, maybe you should just use your hands. It's not that big of a branch, but it kind of is. This is usually how slow starts for me go. I'm by no means an expert at this game, but, oh, I guess you can break it down with your hands. It only takes 10 minutes and 30 calories. Might as well. So time lapse is very fast, my temperature is going down very fast. And I need to find myself some supplies very soon. I've got plenty of sticks. I don't really need too much more than that. So at this point, we're really just trying to avoid the worst, which is big drops and finding no place to go. Looks like we might have something here. Maybe a dead body. It is a dead body, but I don't really have anything. Cannot use bare hands on something 50% frozen. Well, that sucks. However, if I were to, what's the button? What's the button? What's the button? What am I looking for? Oh, there it is, space. Oh, that's a weird button. But space, here we go. Light sources, first aid, campcraft. I can make a fire, and if I make a fire, I should be able to harvest this if it warms it up enough. But I don't think I have enough wood for that kind of for that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to use my accelerant. It's a bad idea, but it gets us going really quick. So I'm just going to toss in as many of these as I possibly can to get the fire going. And while that's going, I'm going to go look for some wood so I can keep that fire fueled.
Freezing.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. I don't want to stand in that fire. Sometimes it's worth it to just go for the small stuff, like the 10-minute stuff, just because. I mean, I've already got 2 hours worth of time on that fire, and adding sticks to it, it's definitely going to be a payoff. It's good. It's good trade-off for what I'm doing. So this game features, obviously, climate, hunger, thirst, and energy. You need to sleep. You can get away from sleeping by drinking coffees or energy drinks. There's different types of foods to eat that replenish different and varying amounts, so on, so forth. There's different types of wood you can add to your fires. 2 hours, 58 minutes, 64%. We're almost done. The reason why I'm so obsessed with this in particular right now is because, let me show you, there is, in fact, a crafting menu. And in order to use a lot of these, they require some materials that are kind of hard to come by, not going to lie. Like tinder plugs, whatever. You can make tinder plugs out of a lot of stuff, and you're going to find a lot of newspapers, newsprints, etc. if you go into the more civilized places that are like towns and such. But for things like deer skin, boots, and all that, you're going to need deer skin, which requires you to kill a deer or find one that's already dead. And harvest its organs and so on and so forth, and that's honestly kind of a hard thing to do if you're a beginner at this game. And one of the most unique things you can do is, even though you need to rely on water, another thing you can do for yourself is you can set up a recycled can, and you can gather water from the snow, melt that snow, and then boil the snow and drink that. So you always have a source of water, even in the most desolate of places. So there's means to survive from the beginning. It's not going to leave you high and dry, but you are best off.
Just want to lay down for a bit.
No, you don't. But you are best off. My health bar's going down, but that's not a big deal right now. What is the biggest deal is finding more fuel for my fire. Give me that which I desire. Okay, the deer carcass is 42% frozen. That's good enough for me. We can take the hide, we can take the guts, and we can cure those later. We can take the meat as well, and this will take a few hours. Oh boy, it'll take a couple hours for the hide, I think. If we quarter it. Ooh, the guts take a long time, so we may not need the meat right this very moment. Now, the fire should still be going by the time I'm done with this, so let's just get it on the way there. See, my hypothermia risk has been healed. That's something that just automatically happens. The deer carcass, whatever, we can no longer collect from that. There's only 34 minutes here, so what we can do is we can cook the meat we have later. I don't need to do that right this moment. I just need to get something in my character's stomach. And, yeah. So now, just to make sure that we don't freeze to death on our way out, I'm going to take a torch with me, and we're just going to gun it. That campfire is going to stay there. It doesn't really require any resources to make, aside from the sticks you need to fuel it. So, forget about that. Let's just get a move on. I don't know which direction I'm going, but I'm going to go back over this hill, go down into that valley, and we're just going to try to find a way to survive. Carrying your torch with you isn't the best way to deter the cold. Clothing is the best way to do it, especially deer hide clothing. But, yeah, this is all I can do right now. I really don't have anything. I should have started in a settlement, like a town or something, but we will make it last. We will. Don't extinguish that. Please don't extinguish that. That's your lifeline right now, pal. That is the last thing you want to do. Oh, see? There. Like right there in the distance. These maps are always meant to be challenging, but they're spotty. They have resources in abundance. You just have to look in the right places. Again, I don't know the maps well enough to know where all these places are, but since they don't change, an experienced player would easily be able to find these and have no problem. Well, that didn't work, but it is what it is. Okay. So we're coming up on our first shelter. We could make a base here, but I don't think that's such a good idea, at least long term. Scrub brush, 20 minutes, 7 branches. That's actually pretty good. Now, you can't make fires indoors unless there's a fireplace. Otherwise, that's just absolutely irresponsible. But they do offer good protection from rain, from wind. They offer a place to store your supplies, among other things. Like, see here on the inside, my temperature is going up, despite how cold my character is. So, it's a good thing. Painkillers, those are also very valuable. Jerry can, does it have anything in it? It does. It has plenty. Oh, you might have seen a red number on my weight there on the side. That is also something that happens to you if you... can opener. That is extremely valuable. Can openers are good for cans. You're going to find cans, and if you don't have a can opener, you're boned. Newsprint, that's good for kindling. But that red number, the less energy you have, the less food you have, the less you're able to carry, you know. A snare, that's new. Soda... These are some of these things I have never found before in this game, so this is honestly very nice for me to find a snare. There's rabbits outside. So there's plenty of food, peaches, cloth. See, this is a hunter shack. This is good. Actually, this is probably one of the better starts that I've had in a while. And even though it may not be that impressive to your eyes, you won't remember me. The world doesn't stop when the lights fade. This is how it begins. Stay calm, observe, survive. Your father saw this day. Don't believe what you hear. What he did was for a far-off dawn. Oh, for the future. Maybe you can recall the fire. Your father understood that we dance for our children's children. My dear, one day you will feel the voices rise in your heart. Enter a cave and stand until stars appear. Climb the highest peak. Sing when the brutality hits. I'm here with you. The winter's winds can only get so cold. Contributed by backer number 4783. So, if you haven't guessed already, the backers of this game, like Kickstarter stuff.
Better take this food.
Yeah. Had a lot to do with this game being where it is today. And they have notes all around the world that you can read, and none of them are really important in survival mode, but they're nice little touches anyway. Here's the lockpicking. I forgot how to use a safe. Oh, I found it. Okay. I'm gonna get into this before I end the episode. I'm gonna try to break into this safe really quick. Just because. Actually, you know what? I've spent too much time. I'm gonna get that while I'm off camera. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that introduction to the game, The Long Dark. It really is a phenomenal and fantastic game, and it's super atmospheric. And while it seems like it can be relaxing at times, and it can be, it's very stressful. It's relaxing, but also stressful. The constant need to manage your food, your water, your energy, so on and so forth, and making sure you don't sleep too long to the point where your temperature goes down too much and you develop hypothermia, you sprain your ankles, your arms, you get attacked by animals. There's so much to worry about and a million ways to go wrong, but there's a million ways to go right as well. And I had to play this game a few times and die a few times in order to really learn some of the systems of the game, and I'm still no expert at it, but I think the longest I managed to survive was about 8 days, and that from my record of 1 day back when my first playthrough happened, I think that's pretty amazing. That's 800% increase. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you sticking with me through this. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment down below to tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Share the videos to spread the good word, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, friends.